Wait a minute. Did you hear that? And this, ladies and gentlemen, is the brand new smell of more rewards. So let's go inside and take a look at it. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Dustin here, and in this video, we're going to take a look at the US Bank Altitude Connect and see if this mega delayed credit card is a good fit for your wallet or for your rotation. Now, this card was first talked about in like 2019, then it was delayed until 2020, and we all know how 2020 went, and we finally see US Bank release this card in 2021. And while I'm happy to see it on the market now, I can't help but feel US Bank is giving us mixed signals on this card, and you'll see why. Now, to apply for this card, you do not need a current relationship like you do with the Altitude Reserve. But US Bank is not the easiest bank to get approval for, so if you're someone who's been more active in opening cards, you may not be approved for it. In the Altitude Connect, it has a 50,000 point bonus after spending $3,000 in the first 120 days of opening your account. This is about an extra month time frame to meet that spending requirement when you compare it to other credit cards on the market, which typically offer about a 3-month window. So this is pretty nice to see. And this bonus is worth $500, which is about a 17% return for your spending. And a $500 bonus is nothing to sneeze at, and for a cash back card, this is actually a fantastic bonus. Then the Altitude Connect, it's going to earn 5 points per dollar on prepaid hotel bookings and car rentals when you book through the US Bank travel portal. It's going to earn 4 points per dollar on travel and gas station purchases. Then you're going to earn double points on dining, takeout, groceries, and streaming services, then 1 point per dollar everywhere else. Now, the 5 points per dollar on prepaid hotels and car rentals really doesn't excite me because we've seen these prices be inflated or different from booking directly with companies. So while getting 5% looks nice, it may not be as nice as it actually looks. And for hotels, if you do have status with a particular hotel, they don't have to recognize your status if you do not book directly with them. So if status benefits are important to you, then booking directly with that hotel is going to be the best option compared to using these travel portals. But earning 4 points per dollar on travel and gas, this is a pretty nice and solid earning rate for this card. So when booking travel, if you do book direct for hotels or car rentals, you're going to lose 1 point per dollar for that hotel or car rental compared to using the travel portal, which I necessarily don't think is a big deal because dealing directly with the company and possibly better pricing can be worth giving up that 1 point per dollar. Then the 2x earning rate on streaming services I actually think is pretty solid, especially when you consider the fact you get a $30 statement credit when you pay for streaming services for 11 months with this card. And the app even has a handy dandy tracker so you know where you stand in order to reach that credit. So if, for example, you were to spend $50 per month on all your streaming services, you would spend $600 in a year and you would earn 1,200 points, which would be worth 12 bucks. But you would also get that additional $30 statement credit, making it to where you would earn $42 in rewards for your streaming purchases. And that would give you a 7% return, which is better than that of other cards on the market. Now, this return will depend on how much you spend on streaming services. If you spend less per month, then the return is going to be higher. If you were to spend more per month, the return is going to be less. Then the 2x multiplier for dining and groceries is meh, it really doesn't impress me. But the earning rates overall in this card really just don't pull me in or wow me. Now, if you're enjoying this video, then give this video a like. It helps others find the channel, and it's a free way to support the channel as well. Then the Altitude Connect, it has a $95 annual fee, but the first year is waived. And this is great because you're getting a $500 bonus that costs you nothing in year one. And really, you can't be too upset about that. This card also has no foreign transaction fees, and since it is a Visa, worldwide acceptance should not be an issue on this card. Now when it comes to our redemption options, it's limited and it's going to be disappointing. You can redeem your points for cash back, gift cards, or travel through their travel portal at 1 cent per point. You can also get access to the real-time mobile rewards where you can redeem your points at 1 cent per point as well. But something I just keep scratching my head at is the fact that the Altitude Connect and even the Altitude Go are part of that Altitude branding. But neither one of them can transfer their points to the higher, more premium Altitude Reserve. And this is a huge, huge miss for US Bank, because this would give them a more cohesive ecosystem, and this here just does not do that for them. If anything, I feel like it could be more confusing to people, and it doesn't give people a reason to maybe hold all 3 of the Altitude cards for a US Bank Altitude trifecta. And it leaves the redemption options very limited, and it doesn't provide any uplift for any particular redemptions. Now, you can transfer your points from the Altitude Go to the Connect and vice versa, but for only 20,000 points per year. So the limit here is really low, and honestly, both cards redeem their points at 1 cent per point, so I don't see much of a reason to combine your points here. Then the Altitude Connect, it has a couple of benefits, but I'll be honest, it's nothing too exciting. You're going to get a $100 TSA pre-check or global entry credit, and this is so easy to get from so many cards that this benefit really isn't that great of a benefit anymore. You're also going to get up to $600 in cell phone coverage, but it's limited to 1 claim per year, and in addition to that, you also have a $100 deductible. And with so many different cards now offering cell phone protection, this really isn't that good. The deductible is one of the highest out there, which I think makes it less appealing. I mean, the Freedom Flex, it might be the best card for cell phone protection overall, since it has no annual fee and it has great protection, offering up to $800 in coverage. Then we do see a lack of travel protections, and I'm meaning no trip delay or trip cancellation coverage. So while it earns 4 points per dollar, if something happens to you, this card does not have you covered. Now, I love the fact we get a huge bonus on this card, and the annual fee, it's waived in the first year. And for me, that makes getting this card an absolute no-brainer. But this is where the reality sets in, because the Altitude Connect is not a card I would consider holding for the long term. The Altitude Connect is a card you get for year 1, then you convert it to the no-fee Altitude Go in year 2, or if you want, you could upgrade to the Altitude Reserve, because the earning rates, while earning 4 points per dollar on travel and gas, are nice. I don't think they're worth the $65 effective annual fee. You can get better gas cards out there with no annual fee, and you can even get cards with travel multipliers, but also come with travel protections. And US Bank's own Altitude Reserve, it has an effective annual fee of $75, and it offers triple points on travel and mobile wallet payments, and it has better travel protections and better benefits. So for a $10 difference for a long-term keeper, I would absolutely hold the Altitude Reserve over the Connect any day of the week. But the biggest blunder here for US Bank is not allowing people to combine their points from the other Altitude cards to the Altitude Reserve. If you could, then there could be the argument that holding this card could make sense for some people. But the fact that you can't combine your points with an Altitude Reserve, the earning rates, they're good, but they're not that good. There's no travel protections, and the biggest draw to this card is the $30 streaming credit. I have a really hard time seeing why you would be willing to keep this card after year 1. So let me know, are you getting the Altitude Connect? And if so, is this a long-term keeper card for you? Now, if you're someone looking for some of the best cashback credit cards out on the market, then be sure to check out this video right here, where I give you some of the top cards out there for you right now. And if you know someone that find this video useful and helpful, consider sharing it with them. And I'll see you in the next one. Take care.